Today's world is built on forgetting. Every morning we wake up, the system pushes something new onto us. New phones, new clothes, new headlines, and even new emotions. The moment the package of the new is opened, the authority of the old expires. People are strangely eager to say goodbye to the objects, memories, and even people that pass through their lives. For most, throwing away is a form of relief. Trash bins are the easiest way to rid ourselves of the weight of the past. Streets, homes, and minds are constantly cleaned, emptied, and prepared for the next wave of consumption. Yet, in the middle of this massive current, there are those who swim against it. Maybe you've noticed that unsettling overflow spilling through a neighbor's window. Or maybe that crowd exists within the four walls of your own home. Those people do not possess the modern human's effortless ability to simply let go. To them, a piece of newspaper is not just paper. A biscuit tin is not just metal. Every object is a frozen frame of time. That person is someone who feels actual physical pain when looking at an item about to be thrown away. Or maybe that person is you, trying to carve out a breath of space among the piles surrounding you. Today, we will enter the deep corridors of the mind behind those locked doors. Not to judge, only to understand. To others, this is sometimes labeled as laziness, a form of filth or lack of discipline. An ordinary person who enters such a home accuses the chaos of irrationality. Why don't you just clean it up, they ask, as if the issue were shallow enough to be solved with a box and a few large trash bags. They compare your relationship with objects to a kind of addiction, but they are mistaken. Those piles, those towers of newspapers, boxes, and clothes, they are not clutter. They are fortresses. What people see as trash is, for you, proof of identity. Because in your world, objects are not silent. They have a soul and a history they have witnessed. Hoarding, contrary to popular belief, is not about loving things too much. It is about refusing to face the deep emptiness created by a farewell. It is often a side effect of an overly developed sensitivity that has slipped out of control. Psychology approaches this through the lens of emotional attachment and object personification. Most people see only function when they look at an inanimate object. You, however, see a character, a loyalty, a lived experience. Throwing away that cracked cup feels like betraying that peaceful Sunday morning years ago when you drank coffee from it. If the object goes, the memory will be erased as well. Another powerful mechanism comes into play here: decision fatigue and perfectionism. Yes, paradoxically, perfectionism lies at the roots of hoarding. The desire to make the right decision for every single item is so intense that the fear of making a mistake pushes you into inaction. The question, "What if I throw this away and need it one day?" is not a simple precaution. It is the echo of a deep mistrust toward the future. For you, these objects are a cocoon woven against the uncertainty and coldness of the outside world. Like a silkworm spinning layers of silk to protect itself from external danger. Those piles serve as a safe buffer zone between you and the dangerous outside. This is where the desire for invisibility emerges. Hiding behind objects becomes the most concrete way of concealing your own vulnerability. When we trace the roots of this behavior, we often encounter a dark corridor. Perhaps a deep emotional deprivation in childhood, perhaps the sudden loss of a loved one, or perhaps a story of migration, being torn away from one's roots. When life takes something from you, your mind makes an unconscious decision. I will never allow anything to leave again. You try to fill that emotional crater with physical objects. People leave, people hurt, people abandon, but objects are loyal. That old magazine will not leave you as long as you don't throw it away. This is why your hoarding is, in essence, a form of mourning, an unfinished, unresolved grief. We cannot deny the darkness this brings. Your space to move shrinks, social relationships suffer, shame knocks on your door. You begin to live like a refugee in your own home. Yet, we must also see the fragile essence beneath this behavior. You are someone who can see beauty in details others dismiss as useless. You can sense not only what an object is today, but what it once was and what it could become. This requires deep imagination and empathy. Your inability to adopt modern humanity's use and discard brutality is proof of how gentle your soul truly is. This is not an illness, it is a state of extreme sensitivity. The direction of that sensitivity has simply shifted from people to objects, because objects feel safer than people. I know the suffocating feeling you experience while trying to breathe among those piles. But you are not merely someone who collects trash. You are an archivist who has declared war on oblivion. You are the guardian of lost time. But listen, you can build a sense of safety within yourself that goes beyond what those objects provide. That emptiness does not have to be filled with things. It can be filled with your own presence, your own light. Your worth is not in what you accumulate, but in the heart that assigns meaning to what you accumulate. And that heart deserves to lighten its load, to feel some air, some relief. Letting go is not losing. Letting go is making room for yourself. And perhaps now is the time to step out from among those silent piles and write your own story, without living in the shadow of objects.